Jamie Rubin is a former assistant secretary at the U.S. State Department. He's now a visiting scholar at Oxford University, and he joins me now live from France. Jamie, comparisons have been made with the Kosovo crisis, for instance, and the international response to that. Is the comparison with Syria fair, do you think?
Well, I think the crises have some similarities. Certainly, we're talking about a massive death toll in Syria, over 100,000 people, just like the threatened war in Kosovo. And we have a terrible dictator, Bashar Assad, slaughtering his own people the way Slobodan Milosevic was. But I don't think this proposed use of military force that people are talking about is really analogous to Kosovo at all, and I'll tell you why. In the case of Kosovo, there was a large strategy, a strategy of diplomacy backed by force. The West, led by the United States, was trying to bring peace and prevent genocide in Kosovo, something we ended up doing. In Syria right now, all that President Obama and some of our allies in France and Britain are trying to do here is to deter Bashar Assad from using chemical weapons. But apparently, they're not going to do very much if he continues to go about with the slaughter of his own people using conventional forces, long-range rockets, missiles, aircraft, helicopters, etc. So I think there is no large strategy in Syria, the way there was in Kosovo, to bring an end to the conflict, to bring peace. Instead, it's a response to a violation of this long-standing international norm, the 1925 Geneva Protocol prohibiting the use of chemical weapons. And for that reason, I think it's valuable, but it's quite limited.
And now, what are the options for the United States now? We're seeing at the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, others, even Lakhdar Brahimi, saying, you know, don't rush into this. Any text at the UN Security Council among the P5 will get vetoed potentially by Russia and even China. So what are the options for the United States right now, do you think?
Well, I think that the diplomacy going on at the United Nations is really something being done largely for the benefit of the British Prime Minister, perhaps the French government as well. They normally see the need for a UN resolution as bringing an international law to bear and something that they would like to try to do before they participate in any potential use of military power. The United States generally doesn't see a UN resolution as absolutely necessary. So my suspicion is that David Cameron and François Hollande in France have asked the president to work with them to try to see whether a UN resolution is possible, knowing full well that it's not very likely and that in the end it will be withdrawn before a vote, because I think it would be particularly dumb diplomatically to go through with an actual vote on a resolution in which it's voted down by Russia and China. That would severely undermine the legal case for using force in Syria.
All right, Jamie Rubin, thanks very much for your perspective.